Hey y'all. So if you're anything like me, you may have had a harmonica just somewhere in your house for a really long time and have never gotten around to learning how to play it. I mean, that was definitely the case for me. And so I decided to rectify that and I took a course and it was awesome. It was really good from Ben Hewlett. And I'm going to give you a review of his course. But I wanted to say that I've taken a lot of courses. This year, I set a goal to study a different instrument every month for an hour every day for the entire year of 2020. So I've gone through several books and several courses, and so I can say with high definition, certainty that Ben Hewlett's course is one of the best you're going to find. And so I'm going to give you my overall impressions of the course as well as what's in it and give you some criticisms if you stick towards the end. So overall, Ben Hewlett's course is extremely comprehensive. And that's one of its strongest points, is that if you want to learn different aspects of the harmonica, he's got it all. If you wanted to learn blues harmonica, you're listening to the music and you hear that blues harmonica and you want to be able to make those sounds, he goes into depth on how to do that. He goes into the basic of how to play the blues, even just like learning the structure of how to play the blues. And he gives pointers on several techniques that you can use in that style of music. If you don't want to do that, then you don't have to take that sub-course. That's kind of the thing. His course is broken up into many different sub-courses that have a different emphasis on different aspects of the harmonica. For example, he has a sub-course on like bending the notes, which I'll explain what that is in a minute. But that basically allows you, if you're interested in learning that advanced technique, you can take that course and get into it. But if you're not really interested in that, you don't have to. So that's kind of one of the biggest pluses of this course, is that it's very comprehensive. And I really enjoyed that, because if you are interested in, one aspect over another, you can take that course and focus on it and rewatch it, or you can skip it altogether, which is awesome because everyone has different goals when it comes to learning an instrument. And so I would consider this course high value for your money. You can learn quite a bit, and Ben is really good. He walks you through many different exercises and performs them patiently with you. Some teachers, they kind of get impatient when they're teaching a concept and kind of gloss over it, and they don't spend enough time drilling it in. And so Ben does a really good job of making sure that you walk away from a concept understanding kind of what to do. So overall, highly recommended course if you are interested in the harmonica. And even if he doesn't touch the exact style of harmonica playing that you're interested in, you're going to be able to learn that, because he teaches many of the different techniques that you need to play the harmonica. And let me tell you, the harmonica is not a simple instrument to play. That was kind of really surprising to me, how advanced and difficult the techniques are. Not every instrument has the same level of difficulty. I was playing, and your face will like pucker and like make weird faces that you've never made before playing the harmonica, because it's a physically challenging instrument in a lot of ways, which again was surprising when you wouldn't think it for such a small instrument. Overall, highly recommended. So if you are interested in learning about music and learning different instruments, then make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be sharing my lessons learned here, as well as reviewing several different courses and books that hopefully can be helpful to you. So what's in the course? Well, I've got to warn you, Ben actually has a lot of different courses available on Udemy. I took one of the biggest ones, and I recommend the one that I got, and I'll link to it in the description, because it is more comprehensive than some of his other courses. You get more bang for your buck. And so what's in this particular course is a bunch of mini courses, and again, this works out really well. So the first one that he starts out with is a primer course. He zips through all the different technique to get started playing the harmonica. And at first I thought, this is kind of weird, like he's really rushing through these concepts, but it's really great because he exposes you to different aspects of the harmonica, and you dip your toe into different techniques and styles of playing. And then you're not done. That's just basically you're being introduced to the harmonica and what's possible. And then there's many other sub-courses that go into much more depth into how to perform those techniques, and lots of drills and exercises and resources to help you practice and master those techniques. For example, there's a sub-course about making train sounds. And, well, I'll do my best. I didn't really think about that was a thing that I needed to practice, making train sounds with the harmonica, but I loved it. It was super fun. And there's a whole sub-course dedicated to learning how to make those really rhythmic train sounds. And he even, what's really cool, Ben throws in a lot of history and to help you kind of appreciate, how the harmonica plays into culture. And anyway, it just makes a very dynamic course because of that. Another sub-course, he talks about the 12-bar blues, which is kind of a foundational blues concept that is necessary if you want to play blues in any instrument. But he focuses on the harmonica and what techniques you can use for playing simple blues. And then he has another sub-course that kind of takes us to the next level and teaches you a song called Easy by Big Walter. And he walks you through playing the music and actually like listening to the song, an advanced harmonica player, and being able to do some of those techniques. So in one course, he kind of teaches you the basics, and another course he like drills in and goes even further in teaching you how to play a specific song. And it gives you kind of a license to like break away from the music for a minute and kind of play what you want using the patterns that you're learning as you go. There's a sub-course on sound and tone. If you listen to yourself playing the harmonica and you listen to a professional, there's a huge difference. And he talks about many different aspects and things you can try and things you can work on to shape your technique, which includes the shape of your hands, the way your lips and mouth are playing through the harmonica. Lots of great tips there. So another sub-course that was really tricky and very surprising how tricky it was is note bending. You see, the harmonica, it has, I don't know if you can see, there you go. It has 10 holes. And through these 10 holes, you can play 7 different notes without any adjustments. So there are 12 notes in our music system, so you're stuck only being able to play 7, which does feel kind of limiting. But you can actually play 12 notes using note bending. And I'll give you an example. Upside down. If I inhale through the bottom hole, this is the sound that comes out. And if I blow out through that hole, so there's those 2 notes. Well, there is a note in between there, and if you pucker your face in a weird way, you can make it. So 2 notes become 3 through note bending. And that's an easy note to do, but there are notes that I can't even get to because they're so difficult. And that's what's crazy about harmonica note bending, is that you kind of have to employ different techniques for each hole to bend the notes. Ben walks through all of that and shows you how to do it. And it's much more complicated than I thought it would be, but it's really awesome. Ben is super comprehensive about note bending and goes into depth. So if you want to take the harmonica to its fullest limits, you will learn so much just from that one sub-course about note bending. There's other advanced techniques that he goes over, such as being able to play quickly. He teaches you some box patterns that help you be able to play really fast. For example, is one small example of one of the box patterns that he teaches you. You can use that as a fundamental starting point to be able to play very fast and incorporate that into songs that you're playing. As I mentioned briefly, Ben does go over how to play specific songs. And one song he does go over is Easy, played by Big Walter. He's a famous harmonica player. And also Love Me Do by the Beatles. And he even teaches you how to play it on a 10-hole diatonic harmonica like I have, even though in that song they didn't use one of those. I didn't know that. So if I was forced to give you some constructive criticism about Ben's course, it might be that he does jump around a bit. It's easy to get kind of overwhelmed in all that you can learn about the harmonica, and the courses are pretty much individual packets that don't relate to each other, and so there is some crossover, and that kind of gives you a sense of a loss of continuity. It's not like one big course that starts from the basics and builds on each other, slowly and successively. He does try to do that the way he's structured and organized the course, but it's kind of not coupled together very tightly. So you might be learning about note bending in one section of the course, and then you learn about it later in another section, and he goes over the concept again. So there is some redundancy, but overall, I mean, some small minor criticisms, but honestly, it's a really good course and I recommend it. So make sure you check out the links in the description to check out the course. If you haven't already, I would make sure and check out this video. Thanks for watching.